name's Sergeant J.T. Foster, the Public Information Officer for the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. I'd like to welcome all of you here. If you haven't already, please set your phones to vibrate or silence them. We also have refreshments over there to my left for your enjoyment. Again, I'd like to welcome you as an agency. We want to thank you for taking the time to come here this morning. We've got a big excitement thing coming up to the detention center. Captain Bond's going to tell you a good bit about it. Councilman Dunn's going to speak. We have a victim's advocate. D'Amica Patterson's going to speak. We're going to have a question and answer session at the end. It'll be a short thing. Sheriff McBride, due to an illness, is not going to be here, but he sends his thank yous and appreciation for everybody showing up, because this is a big deal for them. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Councilman Dunn, who's going to say a few words.
Good morning. As Chairman of Anderson County Council, I'd like to assure everyone that the Council supports Sheriff McBride and his team as they work to carry out new programs to meet the needs of our community. 2 years ago, County Council and the Sheriff's Office leadership began the process of assessing the current state of needs for our local criminal justice system. The results in this jail and justice system assessment through the National Institute of Corrections in 2017 and the information of our Criminal Justice Coordinating Council in 2018, Dixie County Council adopted a resolution recognizing the importance of the Stepping Up Initiative, a national movement to safely reduce the number of people with mental illnesses in detention centers. We're now seeing great progress as individual agencies and initiatives are realized. With each new initiative, Anderson County's criminal justice system moves a step closer to greater efficiency, enhanced public safety, and ability to do more readily meet the needs of our citizens. On behalf of the Anderson County Council, I want to express my sincere gratitude to Sheriff McBride, his team, his personnel, and the dedication and passion they have for the protecting the both rights of those affected by crime as well as those detained. And really looking forward to this system. I won't be missing that. There's a young lady here, Miss Casey right over there, has really done a great job rounding all this up and speeding all this up. When we first come up with this proposal about doing this, and I really appreciate what all she's done for the county and everybody working this, and I think it's going to be a great day.
Our Victim Services Unit offers support to victims of crime in the jurisdiction of Anderson County, as well as the municipalities of Belton, Honeypath, Williamston, Ida, Pendleton, and Pelzer. So in addition to that, for years our Sheriff's Office provided those services with only 2 victim advocates. I'm proud to say that we applied for a VOCA grant, Victims of Crime Act, and we received that grant, and we have hired 3 additional victim advocates, one of which is bilingual. In addition to the grant funds to cover the cost of the personnel, it also covers all resources needed to continue to provide exceptional services to the victims of crime in Anderson County. So we want to thank County Council for their support.
Anderson County is excited to pass along information about our mental health screening initiative. Anderson County Sheriff's Office is pleased to push out to the public the great stride that is a result of partnerships with other agencies to better the criminal justice system. This initiative could not be possible without the support of County Council. In an effort to look at addressing the issue, Sheriff McBride reached out for assistance from the National Institute of Corrections for an evaluation. This process began in the spring of 2017, early on in the administration, carried through the summer into the fall of 2017, with the evaluators actually coming to Anderson County for 3 days to do an assessment. During that assessment, they had a town hall meeting in the month of October, and a final draft of a report that was produced in November of 2017. One of the benefits to this study, it gave Anderson County a pathway to navigate and analyze the criminal justice system as it pertains to the detention center. The development of the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council was one of those steps, which has been very beneficial to Anderson County. This has led to strong partnerships with other agencies, which is why we're here today. Mental health is an issue nationally. Anderson County Detention Center has been able to partner with Anderson, Oconee, Pickens Mental Health to better address detainees with mental health issues. Through research, we have chosen to use a self-reporting mental health screening. We've chosen one that consists of only 8 questions to reduce the strain on current staffing. As a part of this initiative, we have not increased our staff since we had a soft opening, or soft landing on January the 9th. January the 9th, we tried to start getting our feet wet. With 22 people who were brought into the detention center, 20 received that mental health screening. Out of those 20, we had 7 that were eligible to be referred to the mental health liaison. As of January the 14th, this initiative became mandatory within the Anderson County Detention Center. This process consists of detention officers asking questions, reading them verbatim, and only being able to ask them twice. In answering the affirmative to 2 of the first 6 questions, it gives us us an initiative to put it in the hands of mental health, and a positive on the 7th or 8th question also gives us a referral to mental health. The goal behind the mental health screening is to identify, intervene, and treat. This process is being conducted nationally, and our statistics appear to be consistent with their results. This is extremely important because, first, it's the right thing to do. But more importantly, it also involves the safety of our officers that work inside the detention facility. It is the responsibility of officers to maintain safety and security of the detainees. The mental health screening can also assist in classifying detainees to minimize dangers, both to the folks that are detained and to our officers. This is not an attempt to diagnose and release. Data in our facility has shown the individual who shows signs of some type of mental health issues in our facility tend to stay longer, with that costing 2 to 3 times as much as opposed to those individuals who do not show signs of some type of mental health illness. My professional experience, some of the crimes that are committed by those that have mental health issues are theft, indecent exposure, shoplifting, trespassing, breach of peace, public disorderly conduct. With this initiative, we can get the data that we need to see what Anderson County residents face. While increasing the potential starting point of treatment that may occur, the recidivism rate could be positively affected through the treatment. Reducing recidivism has been a mission of the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. This is proven with the implementation of the GED and Work Keys program. This was also a partnership with Anderson School District 5, Adult Ed. We had 4 sentenced inmates graduate last year from the GED program, and we've already started a new GED class this year. I can't wait to see what we're able to do with the collaborative efforts that we have developed. This is a pilot program that is extremely important to this agency because it potentially the potential effect it could have to the community. However, most importantly, reduce hazards that our men and women working in the detention center they face every day. Those remarkable officers face the adversity of overcrowded populations that fuel violence inside our facility while dealing with the mental health component. In closing, proud to announce this initiative. It is the position of being stagnant and not evolving that is more concerning. Anderson County is being progressive and innovative with the ways to improve our system by developing partnerships. We look forward to continuing to develop partnerships that benefit the community. One mind, one heart, one county.
We're very proud to see it as far as the delegation is concerned, and on the state level, we've got our representatives from the Department of Mental Health here. And what people sometimes don't realize, we've got a facility here in Anderson County. And hopefully this initiative will encourage people to seek out to get the help that they need through that facility or through other places through the Mental Health Association. You know, these folks here at the detention center and the sheriff's office in general, it's got to be a high percentage of the things that they deal with every day can be traced back to mental illness.
You know, a lot of it's awareness and getting the word out. We appreciate you being here to help get the word out to the Anderson County citizens because this affects everybody, every family. Mental health does not discriminate, and it leads to other things that cost society a lot of money. But just making it aware and knowing where to go and where to get the help, and that's really, really important. And, you know, whether it's NAMI, whether it's through the Mental Health Association's throughout South Carolina, or just the Department of Mental Health here, or your local sheriff's department, or police department. They're all represented here. Those are very key to understanding the illness. And you know, sometimes folks, you wouldn't know they have a mental illness that have it. So it's recognizing and how to cope with it and how to handle it. And that's something that affects, like I said, it affects almost every family. If you start asking around, someone knows someone with a mental illness, and just helping those folks out is a big thing. And the key to it, and one, it saves money for the taxpayers. I mean, the detention center is full, and a lot of folks really need the mental health services more so than to be detained in a prison setting. They need help, and I think that's what this will help shed light on. How many are actually out there and get the awareness out, and then we need to fund it. I mean, as politicians, we need to step up to the plate and fund it, because like I said, it's like a balloon, you know, it's going to cost on one end or the other, so we need to take care of it and help those individuals out and their families too.
We would reflect the same numbers in our data that the Sheriff's Department, so probably about 30 to 35% of folks that are experiencing homelessness have some form of mental health issues. Probably about 50% substance use disorder. So between, sometimes those things are co-occurring and sometimes those things are separate. Between 30 and 50% of people either need contact with mental health case management, medication, or behavioral health, who works a little bit more with group programming for substance use disorder treatment.
And you mentioned to him that this will help y'all with the Sheriff's Department doing some pre-screening.
Absolutely. So our goal is to get everyone off the street. Second goal is to reduce days of homelessness and give people a better quality of life. We know that if we can reduce those days of homelessness and give people an increased quality of life, that the outcomes are going to be greater. It's going to be better for Anderson to make us have a stronger community. So that 2 to 3 weeks that it would normally take to get someone connected with mental health, set up an appointment, get them to the appointment, open a case file, if they already have that relationship in place, ultimately we're able to get folks the help and the resources they need sooner, and that's just good for everybody.
If there were the resources available for mental health treatment and care, how much would that reduce the burden on what y'all do?
I think what it would do is move people through the process from experiencing homelessness to stabilization much faster, which would mean we would have more beds available for that next person. In November and December, just those 2 months, we served at Salvation Army in Anderson 197 individuals. So there's 197 individuals. If you think about 30% of those folks needing help with mental health, the need is definitely greater than the amount of resources. So we're real thankful that the county and the Sheriff's Department and mental health are just doing a tremendous job. We've seen people in the last several weeks, just because of some of these initiatives, get that help sooner than they normally would. And we have people that are in housing today, stable.
I think it is a really good first step. Yeah, we've had a liaison working with the Sheriff's Office for several years, but typically we would just respond if somebody's in crisis or has an immediate problem. This is really going to help identify folks up front, everybody coming in, if they've had a past mental health history, if they're on psychiatric medications, to get them a referral and a more in-depth screening for psychiatric treatment a lot sooner, and hopefully can follow up with treatment at the mental health center and avoid the recidivism going back over to the detention center. So I think it's going to make a big difference.